Libra, hi, how you guys doing? It's been a while. I wasn't able to be here for a couple months. I broke my hand and I wasn't able to shuffle or do anything else with it actually. But hopefully I'm able to be back now after some surgery and some physical therapy. But I did want to definitely come in this month because it's just like a really big month for the planets transiting, and the big one is like Pluto. Pluto going into Aquarius around March 23rd, and it's only going to be there for like a few weeks, but then it's going to go back into Capricorn. But it'll go back out, and when it goes back to Aquarius, next time it's going to go in for 20 years. And that's kind of what they'll call like a generational planet, because we usually don't have planets that stay in that long. I mean, some of them do. But Pluto stayed in Capricorn for 15 years, Scorpio for 10 years. And it tends to, you could form generations in that amount of time, I guess is what they're thinking. And they say it's kind of karmic, because Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. So the things that are going to come down, have to go and come down like that. The things that are going to come down during that time frame has to be rebuilt. And, you know, I keep, you know, if you watch, I don't watch astrology. Well, I do watch astrology all the time. I do not know astrology, except for little bits and pieces. But, you know, it's pretty big. And I wanted to do a reading that was kind of connected to it a little bit, because I'm thinking if you're going to be holding on to anything, not good for you, not healthy, not something that you want to hold on to for a very long time, it might be a good time to get resolve out of it. Because I don't know how it's going to affect people. I mean, for Aquarius and Aquarius rising, they're definitely going to feel it. I guess anybody who has it in your chart somewhere, and, you know, but in general, I mean, whether internally or externally, if there's things going on outside of you, you're probably still going to notice it. So it's going to be noticed. And I just thought it might be nice to do a reading, just, you know, get the month one, and also just be able to do something to see if you're holding on to anything that could be resolved before this transit begins, because I don't know how long it'll take for you to be able to find peace and help from it when it starts. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to come back and, you know, fix whatever issues you had going in. So it might be a long time. I mean, it's a 20-year transit. That's a long time to be holding on to something if you don't have to. So let's see if we could get started for Libra. This new spread. We'll see how it goes. Oh, all right. You got the Two of Cups, the King of Wands, the Nine of Wands. Oh, wow. The Seven of Wands. Lots of fire. That's Temperance. Oopsie. And it's the King of Swords, and this fell out, and it's the Five of Swords. So let's take a look at this and see if we can figure out what goes on, and I'll clarify with another deck, and then I'll pull like a moon card at the end. All right. Let's just get started with the Two of Cups. I mean, this is how you're feeling about yourself right now. And right now your feelings are, you know, right now maybe you're in a good relationship. Maybe you're with somebody romantically, or it could just be a platonic relationship. You know, you got a close friend around you, somebody that you could lean on, somebody that is able to, you know, look to you when they need something. And that's a good sign. Or you're actually just feeling very able to be that kind of person. You're able to be, you know, the person who people can reach out to, the people, you know, the person that comes in and helps out when they can. But this actually does feel like it's a bond. I mean, the Two of Cups is normally a bond, romantic or platonic, or, I mean, it could be with your children, it could be with your parents, whoever you're actually close to like that. And I think a lot of people have several of those people in their lives, especially if you go family-wise, and, you know. But I think, you know, you have a good relationship, or you feel like you have a good relationship, and that's good, right? Now for the number 2. This one. All right. This is like, what do you need to heal? The King of Wands he's pretty awesome actually. He's natural born leader. He's real charismatic. He can get things done even when people don't think it's possible. And I feel like maybe in this situation, for you to be able to feel better about yourself and not have anything else holding you back in any situation, maybe you need to get things done. You would like to clear the deck of something. Like you're trying to push through something that you don't have to keep not having it done. I literally feel like you don't want to have it done. You don't want to not have it done. Whatever it is, for whatever reason you're being held up, you're feeling that. You're feeling like this constant, I can't get it done. And it makes me think about that with this Nine of Wands next to it. It's almost like, it's like a lot of work. It's a lot of struggle. It's a lot of, trying to figure out how to navigate a path that maybe is not working well for you. And you might actually be ignoring the obvious in front. Like, this feels like to me, you might be ignoring the obvious. You might not be able to meet your personal goal. If you have something in your head, I don't know if this is about a job, a house, whatever this is about for you, it might not be possible. It might not be possible in your timing, in the timing that you have allotted for yourself. So you might have to be able to just give yourself a break. Like, don't push it that hard, because you know what? Sometimes things aren't possible to go in the time frame that we want it in. I mean, it's annoying and sad, but it's true. I mean, I think we've all been there at some point, be like, okay, can't do it. Sorry, But sometimes you got to be able to say that. Sorry, couldn't do it. You can't be held to anybody else's standards. You can't be having to do it because, well, they done it or they got it done, or it was, if it was them, they would have it. No, don't do that. It's you. It's however you are, however you can do something. It does not have to do with anybody else. And you have to realize that and not try to work on a time frame that is based on what the world thinks you should be able to do. Because sometimes we can't. There's a lot of fire. This Seven of Wands, this is like you basically arguing with yourself probably about being able to get things done or doing things the way you want to do it. And it's almost like you're being stubborn in a sense of you're not acknowledging the fact that this is not really a possible, whatever it is. It's not possible. And again, not that you won't ever be able to do it, or not that it won't ever be done. Just basically, it might not be in the time frame you're allotting, or you're mentally allotting. Maybe you really don't, maybe you didn't even put it on a calendar, but in your mind, it might not be something that's, you're like saying, nope, no excuses, I have to. So you're like kind of being stubborn in that sense, or you have to realize that you are not superhero. You can't do everything. I feel like you're being stubborn in regards to what your limitations might be. And the limitations might be, they might be, maybe you got a job, maybe you have a business, maybe you have something else that you're doing. You can't put time into whatever this is. If this is the job or the business, well, that might be another thing. Maybe you need more help. Maybe you need to hire people, or you need to, have some kind of group meeting and try to figure out who can take on this extra stuff that I feel like you are trying to handle. You're trying to juggle it, but might not be working to your best right now. Temperance. All right, okay. With temperance, this is about patience. This is about doing things in moderation. Taking the time to balance the situations and not overwhelming yourself or others with something. And this is actually coming up under what you need to it's actually what you need to distance yourself from. But the way it feels to me is what you actually need to bring into yourself. So you're not trying to distance yourself away from having like this, like this Zen feeling of it's okay, it's all right, just being patient about it. You want to actually have more of that. You want to have more patience. So what's going on here is not going to cause you to feel like not complete or like you didn't do something that you were supposed to do. All right. Now the Six of Swords. This is funny. Libra, this might actually be your energy. It's the air sign. It's Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. But I always think of you guys with, very authority, kind of, very firm, very fair, always having, not so much as having an open mind, but okay, this is how things should go, and just, you're going to have to accept it because that's how it is. I think of lawyers and judges when I picture this card. But that's not always. It's just some of my people are just like that. But I actually feel like this is, because it's saying, well, what can be integrated into your life? And I feel like this is this firm and fair to yourself. Give yourself a fair deadline. Give yourself a chance to not have to be under pressure for whatever this is. It doesn't have to be that way. So you're kind of like, someone's like, take this in and be like, okay, no, this is how it's going to be. This is how it is. It doesn't have to be all, all done. This does not have to be all done. And if it is something that is going on in work or it's somewhere else that you don't have actual control over it, see, if it was in your home or, in your own business, I could see, where you don't want to bring somebody else in. But now if it's somebody else's business or in your employee, and you're working, this is going to give, you want to bring this into yourself so you could say to them, you can go to somebody and say, look, logically, I'm not able to do this. And you don't want to make yourself, you don't want to be like, you're not the best employee that you can be, but let's be logical. Let's make sense, all right? I think that's what needs to be integrated into your, thoughts right now, you shouldn't be taking it all on if it's not something that's reasonable. And now, and this Five of Swords, this comes up under what can you be grateful for? And with this is like, I feel like you are always willing to take a challenge. You don't back down. You don't, you don't give anybody a reason to think that you can't do something. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why you're like being overwhelmed with something, because you never give them a reason to think you can't, which is good. But on the flip side, you can't do everything, right? But I think you need to be grateful for the ability to be that person. You don't always want to be that person because you get a lot of shit handed to you that you really shouldn't. And you end up with a lot of stuff that you become responsible for solely sometimes, and it shouldn't always be that way. But you have what it takes to get things done. And you're very willing to take that challenge. And not a lot of people are willing to do that. Not a lot of people are saying, oh, give it to me, I'll take care of it. A lot of people are not doing that. And so that's something you really need to be grateful for, because that's a trait that not many people have. And you have to be really, proud of that, because you don't see it that much anymore, especially not anymore. Now you're talking like World War II days. Yeah, sure, they were tough as balls, really. But, nowadays, it's like, if you get a little bit of that, that's pretty amazing. So I'm thinking what it is just you need to be able to say, I am not able. You know what I mean? Just give yourself a break. Now, I'm not saying that, if you don't get what you need done in March before the whole transit thing is not, but I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But I feel like this is like in general in life too. I mean, if you can't get something done, let it be. It's okay. It's not gonna end things. It's not gonna cause horrible things. I don't think. We hope not. Let's see. Let's get a couple clarifiers. I'm gonna clarify the 9. Oh, we got the 2 of Pentacles, and we got the Six of Pentacles. Well, that's pretty much, yeah, you need partnership. You need to have people that can get involved in whatever the situation is, if it needs to be done. Now again, if it's something that it's a personal thing, do it on your own time. And I think that pretty much says, do it on your own time. It's not going to be something that can get done, but say la vie, okay, whatever. But if this is something outside of you, and you're being like tagged that you have to get all this stuff done, like, yeah, whether work or, somewhere else, I think you're going to have to let whoever it is that's expecting this of you to know it's not going to happen. And you're going to try to, be able to discern what's important and what's not. With the Six of Coins, it's like, this is discernment. It's like being able to choose who you're going to give extra to, or what project you're going to put extra in. And, maybe the other one can be left for a little bit. So what about the Seven of Wands? Can we tell about Seven of Wands? Oops. The Knight of Cups. And the Three of Pentacles. All right, that's again with being defensive and thinking that you have to do it and you can do it. You don't want anybody telling you can't do it. I feel like that's something that you want to still project. I mean, you want that pride. You want to be able to say, that strength and say, I can do it. I can definitely do it. But there's no saying that's not, help isn't needed. So you might need to be able to, be able to work with people. You might be able to have to, get ideas from people, bounce things off from people. And I feel like this is, when you're talking about discernment, make sure you're not pushing away other important things. Like if this is reflecting a relationship maybe, with this Two of Cups, I mean, have you been neglecting a relationship because you're busy doing other things? Or have you, it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be, have you been letting your friends not see you for days and days and days? Have you stopped making plans with them? Are you trying to get out of things because you have other things that you feel like you have to do? So I'm just wondering, because I guess all that stuff eventually will start making an impact in how, how people see you or how you see yourself. So I think it's a matter of finding balance in what you're able to do and what you're willing to do, and not expect so much from yourself that you can't even be able to put it in your head how you can finish whatever this is. The Moon says, meditate and contemplate. That makes sense. Nice pretty in it. And one more. And expect powerful change. Right? Well, I guess we could assume that the powerful change is coming in. We all knew that. But yes, think about it. This is telling me that you have to think about it. What's important? Where do you want to put your time and your effort? And if you can, take away some of those responsibilities and put them aside, because timing doesn't have to be on everybody else's time. And if it is your timing, then you need to cut yourself a break. But anyway, all right, Libra, I hope you enjoyed the reading. If you can give me a thumbs up, subscribe, write me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I will be talking to you, if not mid-month, then definitely by April, okay? Take care.